go. Everybody start at 3, 2, 1, go. Takes a while for virtual Hydlide to realize that you actually do want to play it. It's thinking very hard, I assure you. First things first, we need to take a quick trip to the fairy forest. I'm going to grab this teleporter here, whisk myself off to beautiful other side of fairyland. You actually start pretty close by where the shop is. Jim, get in the teleporter. Get in the teleporter, Jim. Jim lost some weight. Wait until he gets the other armors on. I think the leather armor just is a slimmer look for him. Jim also can't find the fairy phone. There we go. Looks like you can bump with your back and still get credit for the fairy. So that is quest number 1 complete. I'm going to head off to the graveyard. We don't get the iron armor in the non-marathon safe route. It saves a little bit of time having to pick it up as well as to throw it away later. Just skip right on to the fairy mail when we get to the ruins. Here I'm going to need 1 magic sword and 1 crucifix to be able to take on the vampire and his mighty balls. So there is our sword. Jim's having a lot of problems with picking things up today. There we go. I'm very confident that Jim was behind that sword, but he's also behind the grave and breaking that, no problem. There's a lot of things that Jim doesn't quite understand how to do correctly. Alright, graveyard complete. Where you can get some sweet boots like Jim's, those are the classiest part of Jim's outfit. And there is graveyard complete. We're going to go off to the trial dungeon next. Trial Dungeon is mostly going to be about whether or not I can get some good turns going. The more I get stuck on walls and or on monsters, the worse of a time we're going to have. So we're going to go past the teleporter there. That's my visual mark that I'm going in mostly the right direction, then a bit of a slide here to the right. It should line me up perfectly with where the Trial Dungeon is going to be. And I say perfectly as if it's going to be anywhere close at all. But I'll find out once I get through this forest how well we did with the alignment. Not too bad. A little bit off to the left. There we go. I can see the trial dungeon from there. And down we go. First try Jim activating the elevator. I think that is very impressive of him. World's worst Friar Tuck cosplayer. He does have a bit of a look going on, but I think Jim is less about robes and more about the solid leather. Here we go, using lots of map turns to reduce the lag while turning. There are some spots where you don't want a map turn in here, but they are much less common than, for example, the ruins, where you can have several nice turns back to back. Get all the way around this corner here. Okay, lined up. Like here, the slides are better because you're about to go in roughly the same direction once you finish it. Oh, my spleen. Good thing I do get a full health refill on picking up the quest item in here. Bad news is I don't get one on the way out, so that's where it's really important to not take too much damage. You're getting hurt a lot due to the fact that I don't have any armor on right now. The wisps are the biggest threat in here, but even the green guys, when you have leather armor, do a substantial amount of damage per round. Chip can get up the platform. There is our dragon shield. Here is our lens of truth. I'm going to try actually putting that on, because I think the menu here is reasonably worthwhile to do. Not used to the menu there for that throughout, because with the marathon safe route, what you can do is wait until you're at the shop to do all of the exchanges in there. Oh man, really what I want to see is, does the dragon shield give you any benefit? I know that the green guys do have projectile attack, but I'm pretty sure the wisp are just counted as melee attackers. And so I don't think the dragon shield should be reducing their damage at all. Hopefully we don't find out. Also, the red from the Lens of Truth is kind of giving me a headache already. I was expecting it to not really make much of a difference because this is already a very dark dungeon, but it looks like it just makes it really red and dark at the same time. It's an amazing feat of painful engineering. Alright, that was actually a really good wall to get caught on because that is normally a sticky wall if you go past it. And then through here, how close are we to the exit? Square. Try to get lined up with this. There we go. That was not a good trial dungeon, but not the worst. Hey, hope, welcome in. Are the menus relatively lag-free? There's less lag in the menus. So, like, they run at 15 frames per second, especially for the map menu. The equipment menu is lots and lots of lag. Also, McNeilian, welcome in. Glad you enjoyed the run there. It's a lot of fun doing it at Awesome Games Done Quick. And right now I'm getting to do a couple of categories that I wasn't able to play because I was busy practicing for the event. Does the Lens of Truth reveal how bad this game is? I don't think you need the Lens of Truth for that. That is something that you just start with. Heading now over to the Vampire Mansion. Vampire Mansion doesn't really change for the non-marathon safe route. The biggest difference is that without the iron armor, I am not able to just tank the hits from the bats. They'll actually do damage to me. Iron armor is good enough that the bats do 0. And so you can pretty much walk through there without having to worry at all. But since the dungeon's relatively short and the vampire should never damage you, it's not really a big deal to take damage at this phase. As long as you're like over half health, you're fine. Into the Vampire Mansion we go. This one's a particularly good layout, although unlike a lot of other dungeons, the layout is not as big of a factor overall. Like sometimes you'll have some longer corridors with like 4 or 5 doors going across them. That'd be a little bit slower than the ones that I have, which are balls in every one of the first doors on the sides, but compared to what happens in like the volcano or the sealed dungeon, it's much less penalizing if you get a bad layout here. You see no difference in the Lens of Truth. That is actually probably pretty good because it's not that it's like super ugly. I mean, the game's already pretty ugly to start with, but the extra redness is just kind of annoying, layered over everything. Up to the second floor we go. You can really feel the lag kicking in up here. This is the first spot where you have actual trouble walking in even a straight line due to the lag. There we go, ball number 4. One more ball to go, and you can see the vampire bat actually hitting me. As promised, without the iron armor protection. There we go, ball number 5. Check. What color is Jim's eyes? I believe his eyes are sadness colored. Does Jim ever get a helmet? No, he doesn't get a helmet, he doesn't get boots, he doesn't get gloves. All he gets is body armor and shields. Probably should put that crucifix on. I was like, why is the vampire not taking damage? Easy answer to that. Kind of important to have his required quest item. Still got him in stun lock though, so he's okay. He didn't get long enough of a chance to teleport out. There we go. Now I can put the Lens of Truth back on. And I don't need the lamp for this one, so I'm going to leave it off for a little while. Vampire's still dying behind me. Takes a while for him to realize he's dead. Or, I guess he's already dead. Because he's undead. But now he's more undead than before. Alright, magic lamp obtained. And away we go. So we're going to be heading off to the ruins here in a little bit. The ruins are where I can actually pick up a lot of time. I've got a bit faster of a technique for my navigation through there. So I can like save 20 or 30 seconds in the ruins. That's like the one split on these that has good time savings available to it. But then you've got the Mad Dragon and the Mage, who are such RNG heavy bosses that it's almost impossible to stay ahead. Is the reason if I get the rare magic lamp that weighs more? No, because I've read it out so that the extra ½ kilogram does not make a difference. That's why in the marathon route I throw away the iron armor, is so that the carrying capacity of the lamp does not impact things. And really, assuming that you do the quest in this order, you have a pretty good carrying capacity. You wouldn't be able to wield like the heaviest of the two-handed swords or things like that, but you can deal with most of the light weapons. Right, Roper in my way, but that's okay. We got the dash juice. So this is all about just sprinting in mostly straightish lines. If you get off line, then you have that floor trap peril to deal with. So that's the thing that you don't want to do, is go so fast that you hit a floor trap. But other than that, just trying to do a lot of these side steps so that you're not doing as many map turns overall. That saves me the most time, just the side steps back and forth, as opposed to another like 7 trips into the map to get around those corners. There's Longsword. That's critical for the Hydra fight to go well. Here is our fairy mail. So finally we got some armor. Here is our flame pendant. So that was a really good ruins. Like, that may be my best ruins ever. Is there absolutely no benefit to the super magic lamp? There is absolutely no benefit. It just weighs more. That is its only difference between the regular magic lamp and the super one. Jim, don't get stuck on that monster, please. There we go. It's really important that I don't take damage here because I have to do the volcano, and there is so much damage from the volcano normally. Because you have the lava tiles, you're just getting blasted on every single step. That you are in real trouble if you take a floor trap in this stage here. So I'm making extra careful, certain to line up. Alright, that was close. Last one. And we made it. Alright. Ruins complete. Jim didn't even try to go through the door. That was 100% wall right there. Goldie, you want a shout out to your boy Joshy? Well, here's a shout out from Jim. Hope you're both having a good evening here. And Jim is off to visit the shop. So unlike normal, I will not be going to get the detect scroll. I just have to hope that the final dungeon does not generate itself incorrectly. Because if you have to go to the backup anyway, that's probably like 3 or 4 minutes to go and search out those treasure chests. So you're really just hoping that you get the right version. And I would say 95% of the time I will have a Sword of Light in the expected spot. Sometimes it's going to be a +2, sometimes it's going to be a +0. But either way, it should be good enough to be able to finish the game. Wonder if this game is software rendering. I mean, the Saturn doesn't have any 3D hardware support. So I have to imagine that there is very little acceleration that's going on as a part of this monstrosity. All right, let's go ahead, get this inventory cleaned up a little bit. So get rid of that and put all of this stuff on. Guess I can put the lamp on while I'm here. Lamp doesn't actually cost you your accessory slot for some reason. I don't know why, because it seems like it should fall into the same category, but I'm not going to ask questions. It's virtual Hydlide. There we go. So we have 2 fairy tears that lets me teleport out of dungeons. We have 5 mind potions, which cures insanity / panic for mimics, and we have 3 stamina potions. Those are my only recovery items, and hopefully we don't need a lot of them early. Are the dungeon map layouts a factor of the seed? Yes. Everything except for the very final dungeon is 100% deterministic for the layout, based on the seed. For some reason, this one really critical floor, which has the sword light on it, will sometimes not generate correctly. I don't know why. It's just another virtual Hydlide thing. By the way, this is Volcano. Please stay safe, everybody. Volcano is the epitome of virtual Hydlide. If you want to show off one thing that distinguishes virtual Hydlide from all other games, Volcano is definitely the place to demonstrate its truly unique qualities. And so far, we're still doing reasonably good on health. Health is a resource in the Hydra fight because it means that you don't have to block. Blocking is going to slow you down from doing your stab attacks. So ideally, you just tank all the Hydra's flames and keep stabbing away during that cycle around there. If you have to block, then you're losing hits, and it increases the chance of the Hydra moving backwards. Sadly, I don't get to get my flame sword here. The flame sword makes the mage fight go a little bit faster, but it's still losing time overall. It cuts 2 cycles off, which in an ideal mage fight is like 6 seconds. So you're better off skipping it and hope the mage cooperates. This floor is very much lava. Even with the flame pendant on, you'll still take 2 damage per second from the floor pit hazards. If you don't have the flame pendant on, you just instantly die on those squares. And Hydra looking really slow this time. Last time he was super fast moving up, but he was also super fast moving back. So it's a sometimes you win-lose situation here. One more step, Hydra. One more step. There we go. He's in range. He's ready to tank those hits. Hydra's half done on his right 2 heads. Probably get all 3 of them now. Yep. So this keeps them all stun locked. So no longer any worry about the flame breath, but he's very, very close to the front. So he might start moving back, and that would be a shame if he got out of range again. Come on, Jim. There's a critical. I heard the wet fish sound. Almost done. Stay there, Hydra. Stay there. We got him. Hydra is down. Hey, Momo Dragon, you get a sense how fast the Hydra's moving. You can tell when he takes a step forward. That's my my key Hydlide technique, is to try to predict when he's in range or not. And there we go. Let's grab our flute. Put our fire necklace on, which is really dangerous, because we are no longer protected from the lava. And out of the volcano we go. We have made it. 1 dungeon down. 1 more terrible one to go. The mage is our last really big time RNG. The boss rush is just survival RNG. Like, Hopefully you don't get murdered by the vampire over and over again. Hopefully you don't get murdered by Viralis over and over again. Those are things which are just outside of your control. But usually they go pretty good. Why do I death warp in the marathon? The marathon death warps so that I don't have to spend 100,000 points on that second fairy tier. That allows me to get the detect scroll and extra stamina potions, but it's slower. So the death warp is about 15 seconds slower than buying the item and using it in that dungeon there. Alright, coming up to our sealed dungeon next. Let's see if we get a good position here at the entrance. That was a little bit of an overshoot. But nope, that's going to be too far to the right. Back out, Jim. Too far to the left. That's just perfect. It is really finicky for where that flute will activate. So here we have a race against the music load again. I'm going to try to get as far down the hallway as I can as a sign of how well I've done on clean hallway turns. There we go. Alright, so that was probably about a third of the way down this long hallway, which is pretty nice. There was double mimics there. Usually mimics not a big deal in this dungeon. They get to be a big pain, though, in the Lost Castle. Stop playing with the zombies, Jim, and get down that elevator. Here's a spot where I'm trying to avoid a couple map turns because I can slide on some of these, and also the map turns tend to send you directly into zombies, although this is sending me into zombies as well. We are having a really bad time with those monster spawns. And a lot of these I can kind of cheat because the walls are semi-slippery, meaning that they will more or less let you glide along them. It lets me kind of pre-angle my turns in advance. Oh, very good minecart there. That was basically a first try minecart, which is just ridiculous for this game. Nothing works first try in Virtual Hydlide. Back out we go, so I'm going to take right-hand path. This has more turns in it, but it seems like I get stuck on the monsters less frequently. So that is a plus going through it. Never mind. Zombie! It's like my third zombie stick in this one so far. Let's get a good angle here. Alright, that looks good. On to next floor down. We have one more of these to go. Jim? There we go. Jim was thinking about it. This whole game is a fever dream. It is definitely inspired. I don't know what it was inspired by. Probably horrible, horrible things. But they had some kind of vision going on. So far it's been a really good sealed dungeon, but it all comes down to the mage at the end. The mage doesn't want you to win, you're gonna have a bad time. Two over this way. Up on this side here. Alright, poison. Probably not going to need to fix it, assuming that I get a good mage fight. 625. It's gonna be close. I do have a magic sword to fix the poison, but I'm trying to avoid doing that because it goes into the menu again. So we'll see if the mage fight is gonna be good for us. I don't think I can make it. I think it's gonna be too long. I'll do the mage fight spin around while I get the magic sword out. That's later. Thank you much for the subscription there. Glad you've been enjoying the show. Hope you enjoy your emotes arriving shortly. The mage also thanks you. It looks like you don't take damage during that cutscene, but you do in fact have a countdown while it's going on. Just doesn't display it for a few seconds. Alright, there's one. Good fast cycles, mage. 2. 3. So far, this has been amazing. This is the mage fight you dream of. 4. I wish we had gotten a better trial dungeon. Come on, mage. Where are you going? Okay, he's getting drunk. Nope, there's a fake out. His orbit is getting really weird, so I'm worried about him trying to go out of bounds at some point. You can semi-influence where he goes, but he's kind of on his own at times. There's 6. 7 and a critical. That saves me 1 hit. Let's call it 9. No, the fake out. We could have had a good mage fight, but 2 fake outs probably puts it too late. Oh, we got him! A second critical. There it was. The amazing mage fight ending I was dreaming of. We got a good run going here. There's our Tears of the Earth. There is our fairy. Let's fairy tear our way out of here. And I am really screwing this up. Jim, pick that fairy tear back up. All I have to do is press the button twice. There we go, finally escaped. I lost my 1.7 second lead by bumbling the fairy tears. We can still pick up time on Veralis though. And last night I actually had a really good Lost Castle. It depends a lot on where the eel goes for how long the rounds are. Hey, Bayou Billy fan. I can tell from your name that you're definitely a connoisseur of fine video game products, so I'm sure you're going to enjoy Virtual Hydlide. And the no arm crossing, that is correct. You don't need to cross your arms in the most part here because when you beat the boss, you're going to get a full refill on your health anyway. So you never have to stop and recharge. Unlike regular Hydlide, where 95% of the speedrun is sitting around waiting for your health to regen. Or killing slimes. And around we go, trying not to hit any of the sandy parts of the lake. Staying a little bit far off the edge as a result. That's pretty much perfect lining up here for the tablet. And plug those Tears of the Earth in. It is Lost Castle time. Lost Castle should be relatively good for us. We have a fairly nice teleporter section. The maze section, it's gonna need that Sword of Light +2, but I feel like the first run of the night, a relatively fast one, it probably is still on Sword of Light +2 for the floor generation. Could be a Sword of Light +0. I'm hoping we get some kind of Sword of Light at the end of the day. Nope, not the Ripper. Off the Ripper, Jim. Please, Jim, just go somewhere. Anywhere. I can't kill the skeletons. I don't have the Sword of Light yet. There we go. Whew. We lost some time, but we got through it. Making our way up to the center of the 3rd floor here. There we go. All right. Teleporter section done. Hopefully we get a good maze section here. Past this wall. Okay, there's skeletons down there. Shouldn't be a problem with the skeletons. I'm more worried about the mimics overall. Angle up here for the turn. Probably slide this wall. Yes, there we go. Another skeleton there. There's a mimic right in my face, but the chest is also there. Let's see if I can grab it. Sword of Light obtained. Oh, critical hit. That's not good for us. That's probably going to make me use a healing potion now on the eel. I don't see a way of surviving the eel fight, even if we get a really generous eel spot. I mean, if he goes within like 1 or 2 shots, then maybe we'd be able to get away with it. I'm going to put the sword light on before going downstairs. +2. That's the one we want to see variety-wise. Does about 10% more damage than the regular Sword of Light. Pause buffer our way right into that menu for the map turn, and the reason is because I want to keep on this platform cycle as best as possible. There is a whole bunch of junk right there. Alright, Mimic actually let me go by. I don't know what happened. I think when he activated, he must have moved just far enough over that I could slip through there without having to deal with him. That's really good, not having to fight that guy. Another Mimic right there. We are through and into the eel battle. Hey, Rehemiah, welcome in. Hope you enjoy some of the virtual Hydlide here tonight. Should be a fun time. We got 100% run. I'm going to do a little bit of any percent routing and maybe a non-seeded run as well. All right, Eel, come for it. Come for it, Eel. He's not cooperating. All right, Jim's down. I think Eel might be dropping down now, but it's too late for him to give me a better pattern. Yeah, I need him to go to the front of the arena much sooner in that fight. And there we go. Eel's out of the way. Ooh, 1.4 seconds we need to make up. I can do it. We can definitely get some good paralysis. What have you done to deserve this bounty of Hydlide? Probably something really terrible, Nemo. You should reflect on your actions. Alright, it is time. There's the fun gem that disappears. Every once in a while it does that. Jim just is gone. And then once the orb materializes around him, then he suddenly comes back. New Year's resolution to not stream virtual Hydlide. Never. I want to do another week of virtual Hydlide after Awesome Games Done Quick, just to keep up with the momentum. It is actually not that bad to speedrun once you get into it. To see it, it's pretty bad. To play it, actually not as bad as you think. Alright, there's a critical hit on the vampire, but we need a lot more of those, and we need the bats to not murder us. That's a bad spot. No murder the bats. Okay, we got him. He teleported on top of me. I was really worried the bats would paralyze. Would this game still be better if it had a decent FPS? Yes. This game would be awful. I mean, the bad frame rate is really part of the charm at this point. Alright, skeleton's down. See if we get a good mage spot here. Still RNG on the mage. Just hope he does short cycles. And now you've got a little bit more skill involved to get the triples. That was not a triple. Probably going to be a 5 cycle. Fake out. Alright, so I think our time is probably not going to be good enough here. This is just a slow mage fight, and Viralis is very difficult to beat this quickly. We'll see how it goes, though. We need either a really, really lucky hit or 2 hits more on mage here. Oh, we were so close. So close on the mage. Alright, there's mage out of the way. I need to be a little bit farther to the left to line up with Rainbow Road, but we're not too bad position-wise. Probably just start a sprint from here. There we go. 45 seconds for Viralis. I think it takes a minute. I think we're going to be about a 37-15 or so, depending on how he teleports around. He can go out of control if he wants to. The best case scenario is he just stands on the throne and laughs at you. Alright, here we go. For all the marbles, the Viralis fight is so far going really well. Black Orb's fine. We got him! 36-47. He did not do anything bad. And that is a pretty darn good time for Virtual Hydlide.